Welcome to the Starfleet Training Simulator. Our system is currently configured to train command crew of Aegis-class starships. Here you may learn about the roles and responsibilities of each officer on the bridge, and how to operate all of the controls of their command stations. Feel free to experiment and get comfortable with the ship here in the simulator before moving on to the real thing. As captain, you are in overall command of the crew. It is your responsibility to communicate with and to coordinate the actions of the other officers on the bridge. You'll receive important updates on mission status and also have direct control of the main view screen. The captain's objectives feed contains vital information about your ship's mission. Updates from support crew and Starfleet Command are reflected here, so that you will always know what your crew needs to accomplish. Open the objectives feed now. Some objectives also have more detailed information. Sometimes you, as captain, must choose between different ways to complete an objective and direct your crew accordingly. In all cases, your crew depends on you to keep them informed of their goals. Select the objective for more information. Sometimes you will receive additional information to help with your mission. Keep an eye out for your intel feed, located near your objective readout for tips and hints. As captain, you can answer a hail when messages from Starfleet or other ships are received. If the message is accompanied by video, it will be displayed on the main view screen. Answer the incoming hail now.
Aegis, this is Captain Uku of USS Huxley. Our system checks are complete. We're ready to go. We'll stand by and follow you out when you're ready.
At any time while on the bridge, you can use an external view to see what is going on outside and around the ship. As helmsman, you are the ship's navigator, responsible for maneuvering the ship and navigating within and between star systems. Your crew depends on you to get the ship wherever needed, to avoid collisions with hazards in space, and to maneuver for tactical advantage in combat situations. Your local map can be used to mark ships and objects as waypoints, to check your proximity to hazards, and gauge when you are close to being detected by hostiles. Touch any target on the map to select it. Your basic maneuvering controls allow you to give the ship forward or reverse thrust, to steer the ship to port or starboard, and to move the ship up or down on its vertical axis. The amount of thrust you can give depends on the amount of power your chief engineer allocates to engines. The more power your engines have, the more responsive the ship will be. Maneuvering controls are only available when your local map view is active. The throttle controls your speed and also allows you to reverse or make a full stop. Your ship's impulse drive allows you to travel quickly between planets and other points of interest within a star system. To travel via impulse, you will first need to plot a course by choosing a destination on the impulse map. Once the course is plotted, you will then need to align your ship with the appropriate heading and engage the impulse drive. Be aware, the impulse drive cannot be engaged unless the chief engineer has allocated sufficient power. Switch to your impulse map. Select any point of interest in the star system to plot a course to that destination. Now return to the local view and steer the ship to line up with your plotted course.
Calculating travel vector.
Grab and push your throttle to engage the impulse drive. The ship's computer will automatically follow the course you plotted. The ship's warp drive can distort space around the ship to propel it faster than light across the vast distances between star systems. The tremendous amount of energy needed for warp travel will require you to coordinate closely with the chief engineer. To travel by warp, it is your responsibility to plot a course by selecting a star system on your warp map. When the course is plotted, you will need to align the ship with the proper heading. Before you can enter warp, your chief engineer will have to prepare the ship and charge the warp coils. Open your warp map now. Select a star system to plot a course to it. Now return to the local view and steer the ship to line up with your plotted course.
Warp coils charging.
Push your throttle to engage the warp drive. The warp coils can only remain charged for a limited time. The chief engineer will need to prepare the ship for warp again. Various systems of the ship affect how easily other vessels can detect the Aegis. The Aegis is designed to avoid detection at ranges where other Federation vessels would be easily visible to another ship's sensors. As helmsman, the more thrust you are using, the farther away the Aegis can be detected. On your local map, you'll see a ring that expands and contracts as the ship's signature increases or decreases. When other ships come within that ring, they will detect the Aegis. As captain, you can access basic information about your ship's status. The status information available to you is helpful, but no substitute for the more detailed knowledge of your chief engineer. As captain, you have the same maps at your fingertips as your helm and tactical officers. You may use these to aid communication, to identify a target for tactical, or to specify a destination for helm. Targets and nearby destinations are selected from the local map, which shows objects of interest around you. Open the local map view. Now touch any object on the map to select it as your target. Some orders you give to the crew require you to first designate a target or destination, exactly as you just did. When playing alone or with AI members of the command crew, the captain gives orders to the AI officers. To give an order to a specific officer, look at them and use the orders system to select from the available commands. Remember, some commands will first require that you select a target or destination. Try ordering your chief engineer to prioritize power to engines. Some orders apply to the entire crew. To access these orders, look towards the central console in front of you. First, select the closest ship from your local map. Then try ordering the crew to investigate it.
Yes,
New
Captain.
coordinates, adjusting course. Setting new heading.
Affirmative. Maximizing power to engines.
Aye, staying with them.
Aye, Captain. New target locked. Initiating scan. Full scan complete.
Impulse engines allow the ship to rapidly traverse great distances within a star system. When playing with an AI crew, you will need to choose a destination and give the orders to prepare for and initiate impulse travel. First, choose a destination from your impulse map. You need to select a destination from the impulse map. Now give the order to prepare for impulse. Your chief engineer will give more power to the engines, and your helmsman will lay in a course and align the ship. Tell the crew to engage impulse flight.
Aye, aye, Captain. Maximum throttle. Aye, aye, Captain. Full speed ahead. Aye, aye. Full stop. Aye, understood. Setting throttle to full.
Aye, Captain. Full power to engines.
Calculating travel vector.
Aye, aye. Full speed ahead.
Aye, aye. Prioritizing power to engines.
Plotting course. Calculating travel vector.
Aye, Captain. 1/4 throttle.
Plotting course.
Aye, aye. Maximizing power to engines.
Aye.
Powering engines for impulse.
Plotting impulse course. Course plotted. Aye, Captain.
The ship's warp drive can generate a warp field, distorting space around the Aegis and allowing you to travel to other star systems much faster than the speed of light. When playing with an AI crew, the captain chooses a destination and gives the orders to prepare for and initiate warp travel. Always bear in mind that charging the warp coils consumes most of the ship's power. The Aegis will not be able to maintain a full combat stance during these critical seconds. To go to warp, first choose a destination from your warp map. You need to select a destination from the warp map. Now give the order to prepare for warp. Your chief engineer will direct power to the warp coils, and your helmsman will lay in a course and align the ship to the correct heading.
Warp course is set. Lining up for warp.
Now tell your crew to engage the warp drive.
We're ready to go.
Ready. Charged.
Aye, understood.
Captains have control of the main view screen. You may choose to display any of several different overlays on the view screen. With information about your ship's system status, try the different views and overlays available. Open your view screen controls now. The target and magnify views only work when you are targeting another ship or object. Magnify provides an up-close view of your selected target. Target view provides enhanced situational awareness, showing both your own ship and your target at once. Sometimes, as captain, you may wish to take temporary control over another command station. This allows you to perform any of the functions of that role, then return to the captain's chair when ready. You cannot, however, take control of a station currently being operated by another player. To take control of another station, look at any of your AI command crew and activate Orders mode. Now choose the Take Over option. You can return to the captain's chair at any time by tapping the Orders mode button again. In emergency situations, you can sound a red alert to notify your ship's crew. If you are playing with an AI as tactical officer, she will interpret a red alert as a request to prepare for combat. Try activating red alert now.
Aye, aye, Captain. Shields up. Arming torpedo.
As the tactical officer, you are in charge of the ship's weapons, defenses, and scanners. In combat situations, you must coordinate with the rest of the bridge crew to protect the ship and deal with any threats to it. But you also have a crucial role in non-combat situations. It is the tactical officer's responsibility to scan nearby ships and other objects in the environment to reveal vital information about them. In order to scan anything or to fire on it, you must first target it. To select a target, simply select the appropriate icon on your map. Once you've selected a target, a display will show all currently known information about your selection. Target a nearby ship by tapping its icon on the map. You will often need to scan a target to learn more about it, or to locate people or objects of interest in another vessel. Some objects are scanned with a simple, general scanning action. This happens automatically when the object is targeted. More complex objects, like other ships, can be scanned for specific properties, such as the locations of any weak points in a ship's system. When an object has many features to scan, Scanning them all at once is much slower than scanning a single specific system. Scanning is required before it's possible to transport people or cargo off of another vessel, or before being able to target weak spots of an enemy's ship systems. Target a nearby ship by tapping its icon on the map. Here you can select what systems you want to scan. Scanning a single system will always be faster than scanning multiple at once. Also, the closer the ship is to the target, the faster you can scan. Scan the ship's engines now to reveal their status, and any weak points which would allow you to damage the engines directly. As Tactical Officer, you have control over raising and lowering the ship's shields. When raised, the shields will charge up to maximum strength over time. They are your best defense against damage to the ship. When shields are lowered, or down to 0 strength, any damage to the ship may cause serious harm to onboard systems, or even loss of life to your crew. When shields are raised, the Chief Engineer can direct power to them to increase their effectiveness. Raise the shields now. There is a delay while power is channeled into the shield emitters before the shields come online. In a combat situation, remember that you need to raise shields before the enemy fires. As Tactical Officer, you have control over raising and lowering. Photon torpedoes are a devastating weapon. They can automatically track a moving target and deliver heavy damage on impact. However, before you can fire them, you must first give the order to arm them. Arm your torpedoes now. Each torpedo tube takes time to load. Your supply of torpedoes for any mission is limited, so use them wisely. Target the nearby ship and fire torpedoes at it. Phasers are a versatile energy weapon. They continually charge over time, and when fully charged, your phaser banks hold enough energy to fire multiple shots at your target. Phaser banks automatically track your target, but only if it is within the indicated firing arc and within the current range of your weapons. The effective range and damage of your phasers is controlled by the amount of energy the Chief Engineer allocates to them. Target the nearby ship and fire phasers at it. Phasers can be used to precisely target weak spots of another vessel. To use this ability, you must first scan the desired subsystem of a target, such as its weapons or engines. Once scanned, you must then select that system. As long as a scanned system is selected, phasers will auto-target that system's weak points. To hit a subsystem, the target's shields must be down or inactive. Second, your ship must be correctly facing the targeted point. If the target's shields are raised, or you are attacking from the wrong angle, firing in subsystem targeting mode will do minimal damage. When dealing with other ships, targeting individual systems is a good way to disable them or neutralize a threat without outright destroying the ship. This may sometimes be necessary to accomplish your mission objectives. Target the nearby ship and scan its weapons systems. Now select the ship's weapon systems to lock on to their weak points. Your phasers are now in subsystem targeting mode. Fire them for a precision attack. Until the target's shields are down, you will not be able to hit the targeted system. Very good. You have damaged the targeted system. Various systems of the ship affect how easily other vessels can detect the Aegis. The Aegis is designed to avoid detection at ranges where other Federation vessels would be easily visible to another ship's sensors. As tactical officer, arming torpedoes, firing weapons, and activating shields will each make the ship detectable from greater distances. To reduce the ship's signature, disarm torpedoes and lower shields now. The Aegis's prototype remote intrusion system can be used to send encoded signals and disrupt critical systems of other ships. Before it can be used, the tactical officer must scan the target. Once a scanned target is selected, an intrusion into its control systems is attempted via an automated routine. If successful, you may then choose to attempt any of the available disruption routines to temporarily cripple a specific system. Activate the remote intrusion system. Target a nearby ship by tapping its icon on the map. Select a scan target. Choose a disruption routine to inject into the target's systems. Very good, but once used, the remote intrusion system will be fully occupied and unable to disrupt another target or system for some time. Your ship is equipped with standard transporters for beaming objects or personnel aboard from other vessels or locations. Transporting first requires the tactical officer to scan the target vessel or location. If any mission-critical items or personnel to transport, the target will appear on the transporter interface. It will take time to acquire a lock-on before you can beam, and you must remain in range for the lock to succeed. The transporter cannot penetrate through your ship's own shields or those of another ship, so you must coordinate with tactical to make sure your shields are down when you need to transport. If you are attempting to beam something from a hostile vessel, your crew will first have to disable its shields. Activate the transporter interface. Target a nearby ship by tapping its icon on the map. Select the damaged ship from the list of targets. Lock on to the survivors aboard the ship to prepare for transport. To lock on, your ship must be in transport range and unshielded. The target's shield, if any, must also be down. You have transporter lock on the survivors. Give the order to energize. The survivors are now safely aboard the Aegis, but you can only transport 6 at a time. Anytime there are more than 6 targets to transport from a single vessel, you will need to perform multiple transport cycles. As Chief Engineer, you support all other members of the bridge crew by keeping the Aegis operating in top condition. You monitor vital status information about the ship's systems, allocate power needed for maneuvering and combat, and manage the ship's power grid to compensate for damage or boost its capabilities. You also manage the ship's repair teams and keep an eye on how visible the Aegis is to other ships in the area. Your system's display gives vital information about the status of the ship's various systems at all times. When your ship is suffering from negative effects, this panel provides information about the source and severity of the effect. As Chief Engineer, you have more detail about your ship's status than any other member of the crew. Activate your system's display now. How you allocate power determines how effective each of those systems is. As situations change, you'll need to communicate with the rest of the crew to keep them supplied with power and to anticipate when to make critical adjustments. One of your most essential responsibilities as chief engineer is to distribute available power between each of the ship's major systems. Try giving maximum power to engines now. Now try giving maximum power to shields. You will have to reduce power to other systems first. Before the ship can travel between star systems, you must make the ship ready and charge its warp coils. This draws a tremendous amount of power, and you will be unable to make any further changes to power allocation or routing while prepping for warp. Begin preparing for warp now. Charge the warp coils. The helmsman will have a limited time to engage the warp drive, or the coils will automatically discharge to prevent damage to the ship.
Warp coils charged.
When the ship sustains damage, it's up to you to deploy repair crews and get critical systems back in working order. You have a limited number of crews available. You may send multiple crews to repair a single system faster, or you may spread them out to work on multiple systems at once. Activate your repair controls now. We have simulated damage to your phaser banks and scanners. Assign repair crews to both systems to get them back to full working condition.
Phaser array restored. Sensor array restored.
When the ship sustains damage, it's possible to increase the power to one or more systems beyond normal safe operating limits by rerouting the ship's power grid. Switch to rerouting mode now. Try diverting extra power to shields by dragging an adjacent power node over to it. You have increased maximum shield strength by drawing some power from other systems. This situation is risky, though. The extra power flowing through those conduits could cause internal damage. When you use the rerouting system, you must keep an eye on the power grid and be ready to make changes as needed. Various systems of the ship affect how easily other vessels can detect the Aegis. The Aegis is designed to avoid detection at ranges where other Federation vessels would be easily visible to another ship's sensors. As Chief Engineer, you can monitor all systems which are affecting the ship's signature and gauge the range at which the Aegis will be detectable to other vessels. This information is vital when trying to avoid contact with hostile ships.
Captain's log stardate 2258.161. My crew is assembled and we're preparing to disembark on our expedition to the trench. Before we depart, however, Starfleet Command has asked us to complete one final exercise to confirm the Aegis's fitness for the mission ahead, and undoubtedly to test the readiness of her captain and crew.
Captain, we have a message incoming from Deep Space K7. Opening channel.
Aegis, we have a freighter coming into dock, and we've had a little trouble lately with smugglers trafficking invasive species. On your way out, I think it'd be best for everyone if you could just verify the ship isn't carrying any wildlife.
Run another diagnostic on the computer corner, just to be safe.
Aye, locking on target. Scanning.
Transferring analysis to your panel, Captain. I am not detecting any unusual life forms aboard the freighter, Captain.
I'll let K7 know the ship's clean.
Aye, aye.
Initializing warp protocols. Diverting power.
Warp course plotted. Lining up for warp vector.
Warp coils charged.
Warp vector aligned. Course plotted. On your mark. Aye, aye, Captain.
I'm picking up a distress signal, Captain. Channel open.
USS Aegis. My vessel has lost all power and our life support systems are nearly exhausted. We have a crew of 6. I request that you take us aboard your ship as soon as possible.
Can you look into that power surge from the right warp nacelle?
I'll get to it shortly.
You
Following the target.
Locking new target.
Aye, aye, Captain. Following.
Scan initiated.
I will update your panel, Captain.
Life signs detected.
Staying with them.
Acquiring lock.
Aye. Bring her to full stop.
Energizing.
The vessel is empty, and all crew members are accounted for.
Huh. Can you take a look at that feedback search?
Thanks for the heads up.
We have a priority message incoming from Starfleet Command. Opening channel.
Captain, we've lost contact with one of our survey vessels, the USS Nicholson. You're the closest ship to their last known position. We need you to locate the vessel and render any aid they may need. We're sending their last coordinates to you now. Starfleet out.
Calculating travel vector.
Aye.
Allocating engine power for impulse.
Making ready for impulse. Course laid in, Captain. Aye, understood. Following. Aye, aye, Captain. Throttle to 0.
Plotting course.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Diverting power for impulse.
On your mark, Captain. Laying course for impulse. Aye.
Captain, I'm detecting gravitic mines in the area. If we get too close, they'll be attracted to our hull, and the damage could be severe. We should keep our distance.
The environment is inhibiting the effectiveness of our sensors, Captain. We are, however, detecting pockets of plasma coolant. They may provide clues as to the Nicholson's whereabouts.
Aye, aye. Changing target. Scanning target.
I am sending new data to your panel, Captain. Sensors are detecting a distress beacon, but it is not a Federation frequency. It looks like a civilian vessel needs assistance as well.
I'm picking up a signal on emergency frequencies. On screen.
Aegis, according to my engineer, our engines are locked in some sort of malfunction cycle. If we could temporarily override them, I think we can fix the problem.
Arriving at our destination.
Roger that. Targeting. Scanning.
Transferring data to your panel, Captain.
Acknowledged. Prioritizing power to shields.
Shuttle maintenance and resupply has been approved.
Warning. Aye, Captain.
Moving into the
Repairs
anomaly.
underway.
Detected.
We've arrived. Adjusting heading for new coordinates.
Sensor suite repaired, Captain.
Sensor
All repairs
array
completed.
Restored.
Aye, aye. Bringing her to new heading.
Aye, Captain. Maximizing power to shield emitters.
Aye, Captain. Bringing her to full stop. Aye.
Aye. Equalizing power. Understood. Balancing power.
Would you mind investigating the shield calibration flux here?
Taking a look now.
Captain, we've reached our destination.
Understood. Target selected. Scanning. I've finished the scan.
I believe our lost ship is showing on sensors now, Captain.
We're being hailed.
Aegis, this is the USS Nicholson. Our vessel is severely damaged and leaking radiation. Most of my crew escaped, but a few of us are trapped in the forward compartment. I need you to transport us off the ship. And then... well, she's too dangerous. We can't just leave her floating out here. You'll have to scuttle her.
Updating your panel,
We've
Captain.
got life signs.
Following.
Acquiring transporter lock. Energizing.
Yes.
Staying with you.
Locking on target.
Shield emitters are down.
Multiple failures on Deck 14.
Yes, Captain. Repair crews are en route.
This pattern can be indicative of a furrier system.
Aye, Captain. Updating target.
Acknowledged. Repairing shield emitters. Shield emitters repaired. All
Shield
systems
emitters
fully restored.
Engaging target.
Following the target.
Targeting. Initiating scan.
I will update your panel, Captain.
Warning.
Entering the
Environmental
anomaly.
hazard detected.
Aye, aye. Full stop.
Understood. Attempting system disruption. Stand by. New target locked. We're disrupting the
It looks like that fixed it. We should be able to take it from here. Thanks for your help. You probably just saved all our lives.
Captain, I have an update from Starfleet Command. They're sending us new coordinates.
Calculating travel vector.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Allocating engine power for impulse.
Plotting impulse course. Course plotted. On your mark. Aye.
Captain, I'm getting something on the distress channel. Putting it on screen.
This is Captain Jameson of the Kobayashi Mine. We've struck a gravitic mine. We've lost all power and our hull has been penetrated. Life support systems are failing. Our position is Gamma Hydro Section 10. Please, you must help us.
Aye, Captain. Shields raised.
Captain, that places them in the Klingon neutral zone. Entering the zone would put us in violation of treaty.
Routine theta radiation scans all come up clean.
Aye, Captain. Following.
We're approaching the Klingon neutral zone, Captain. I'll alert medical. Aye, aye, Captain. Shields lowered.
Following
Aye,
the
Captain.
target.
Target selected. Scanning target.
I am sending new
we have
data
life
to your
signs.
panel, Captain.
Staying with them.
Establishing lock.
Particle analyzers are reacting, Captain. There may be a cloaked vessel operating in the area.
Initializing spectrographic analysis.
Energizing.
Their sensors.
Remaining aboard the target.
New contact, one enemy vessel. Roger that. Raising shields.
Aye, aye, Captain. Adjusting heading.
Yes,
Following the
Captain.
target.
Changing target. Scanning.
Sensors are showing waveforms consistent with recent cloaking activity. I am updating your panel, Captain.
Hostile ship decloaking. Hostile contacts detected.
Staying
Aye,
with
aye.
them.
Kobayashi Maru is at 50% hull integrity. Aye, aye.
Following.
Locking new target.
Energizing. Others are still awaiting transport.
Kobayashi Maru, 25% hull integrity.
Following the
Target
target.
selected. Engaging.
Cloaked vessel detected.
Full power to laser banks.
Enemy vessel is retreating. Kobayashi Maru hull, 10%. The Kobayashi Maru was just destroyed, Captain. Enemy vessel decloaking.
Congratulations, Captain. You and your crew have just completed the Kobayashi Maru simulation. I know it's not easy to face a no-win situation like that, but it's a necessary test, both for Starfleet and for yourselves. I think we all have a better idea now of the decisions you'll make when there's no obvious right answer. Based on your overall performance, I'm not only clearing the Aegis for Operation Distant Shore, I'm recommending that you lead the expedition into the trench.